you know. And I remember I was at a track meet and, oh gosh, it's like, the roster's like 100 of us, right? And you pick what heat you're in. And I kept getting pushed to the back of the line. I was like, I'm in this thing. No, you're not. Like literally, no, you go back there. And I'm just going back. There's like 30 heats, bro. I'm in the last heat. But guess what the fastest time of the day? I did. And that's when I got a little bit of ratings, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, he dropped at 2016 I was supposed to run after going 1995 and 10:09 that year, but I pulled my hamstring at NCAAs. So I went from being number one prospect, everybody's draft board, looking at a lucrative contract, to just being brushed in the side. Yeah, because in athletics, you're as good as your last race. I remember I went to school and then I was getting teased. They were like, British boy, whoop-de-whoop. And I said to him, I'm gonna suck your mother. But look, this is me saying that, yeah?
With a British accent.
And I'm just frustrated at this point. You know what the man done to me? He slapped me in my face, took out a knife and said, pussy, me stab you, yeah? And I was like, bro, this is not like a joke to you. I'm really out here. Light up the fire, get out, move.
Right, what's going on, everybody? I'm your boy DJ Armani with Productionz, and I'm here with my very, very, very special guest, a very good friend of mine, like X amount of years, amazing athlete for Great Britain. With my co-host today, I want to welcome NETHANEEL Mitchell Blake, the one and only. How are you, sir?
DJ Armani.
Hey man, it's my
with it every time.
Never ever called him DJ Armani in my life.
Oh, you know me, so
no, but I'm not gonna put your government out there.
No, it's cool. You can do it. It's gonna
what's
happen.
funny is because I was talking to my sister yesterday, and she was like, "How you got Jasmine tickets to go to like a concert or something?" And because DJ Armani's known. So I was like, what is this?
I mean, it comes with the territory, innit? I can't help it. It was just one of those things to do when I first started. So, how's it going, man? How's it been? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. I've been good. Thank you guys for having me. It's good that we can do this. But yeah, I've been good, man. Can't complain.
Cool. So, the way I like to start this, what brought you into athletics?
You know when you're young, you do every sport.
Yeah.
So I thought I was Thierry when I was younger. Then.
I remember those days.
I actually love cricket more. Like I remember guys playing football on the basketball court. Don't ask me why they done that, but that's what we used to do. Put up bags.
Put up two bags.
Couple bags. I've done that on the basketball court.
Let's go. Nah, man, it went no go.
I wouldn't play football. I'd play cricket. I don't know why, but I had more fun playing cricket than football.
I'm not even gonna lie. This Sunday was the first time I've watched cricket. I hate cricket, man.
Cricket's good. It's not for me, but it's...
Cricket was my first love. I remember like the first like sporting equipment I got as a Christmas present was like a Slazenger 100 set. Got like 4 wickets, you know, a little bat, and then that was me. I actually, in my back garden, no grass used to grow in a certain part, and my dad would always get like really, really mad. And so it was like, we can't play cricket because we're stopping the grass from growing. So yeah, cricket was my first love. But athletics, it kind of got to the point where I realized sports has a lot of politics in it, and I realized that from a young age, because I remember going power league, because when I'm younger I'm balancing football and I'm balancing athletics, and I used to go to power league with at the time my classmate's dad was like the head coach, and I joined pretty late. I joined like mid-season. But you know, when you have speed, that's like a major attribute when you're young. Every sport, that's a major component. So I was the fast guy, and as I said, I thought I was Thierry Henry, so I was like, let me play up front or on the wing. And I remember I came on in a game one time, and I scored like a hat trick. I just came on. At them times, you can bring people in and out the game, and I came on for like a 5-minute spell, well, maybe a bit longer, and I scored like 3 goals, and he took me off. And from then, I was just kind of baffled, and I was like, he got mad at the goalkeeper opposed to praising me. Like, he got mad at the opposing players and was like, what are you guys doing? Like, he was upset at them. I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, and in athletics, well, running in particular, you dictate the outcome. There's no politics. The sport keeps you honest. Like, whoever's past the post wins. And yeah, it was good social fun too, because you know, you got the older people there, then you got to interact with some girls too. It's just a bit of banter.
Yeah,
it's a bit fun out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It was fun.
Go to some events.
I used to think it was a big deal. I remember like every Sunday we used to go to our meets.
Barry.
As well. Sorry.
I told you. I told you it was up.
Hey, DJ Armani.
It's fine.
Cut that out.
It's fine. We'll keep it in.
Just put it to
yeah,
it's a beep in there.
He can attest to this too, though. My dad came to pretty much every meet. This
Yeah.
is like when we're young too. And then my mum used to make like a packed lunchbox, and it was a big thing.
Like,
I was
listen, no. This was a packed lunch. This was dinner.
Yeah. I'm talking like barbecue chicken and
dinner as well.
Yeah.
We will go to these meets and he could share food with the team if he really wanted to.
I had my little igloo them time there, and I was one of the best guys in my age group because we were in a pretty low league because the club we were running for wasn't really great. But to be honest, on the national scale, the guys who we used to run with were always up there with the likes of Akeem
was
and Jimmy.
Talented.
Yeah, and so you know when you're winning races, it's fun. And I was young, but I still thought I was the guy. You know, and then when you hang around with the older guys because you're doing well, they kind of embrace you more, and you think you're the cool. You know, it was just fun, man. It was fun.
It was nice.
We used to travel a lot, man.
Because we had such a good setup because we had like the under 17 guys, some of the under 20s, and then he was literally like probably one of like 4.
Me and Jarrell.
Yeah. We only had a few under 13s, but where they was with us all the time, they almost wasn't. It was like they wasn't 12 years old.
They didn't treat us any different. They didn't treat us any different.
It was strange because he'd be involved in the conversations that we're having.
Yeah.
Normal.
I don't even want to know what those conversations
No,
it wasn't that bad.
Different time.
It was
different time, different universe. It's fine.
It wasn't that bad.
But quite early on in your career, you moved.
Yeah.
You moved over to Jamaica, and a couple of years went past. Couldn't really find anything back then, like to see what was going on, and then out of nowhere, you start seeing the name pop up a bit more, and you're like, okay, so he's still doing it. Yeah. And I think first couple of years, I see him like see results and stuff, and he was around the same times, maybe a bit faster out there than he was over here. So it's like, okay, cool, he's making him improvements. About 2 years later, I think he would have been under 17 over here. 21-4, 10-4. This man tells me he's running it on grass.
Yeah.
I'm
What
like,
coach were you with?
It doesn't go like that. So I moved to Jamaica when I was 13, and I went to a private school first. And that was just because my parents wanted us to transition to the culture a bit easier, opposed to going straight into the public school system. Yeah. And it wasn't for me, man. Like, I'm around it was an amazing school. I'm not discrediting the school, but I just couldn't really relate. No, I have a good family. DJ and Armani can attest to that. But it was just like, they were like the most affluent families in Jamaica. Like, this is 2007. I'm seeing Hummers come into school, like Escalades, and like your fellow classmates are driving. I'm just like, I can't. This is not for me. Like, I couldn't really relate, and I also knew that it was very expensive. But my parents were forced to do that just because of culture. So I ran a boys and girls champs, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. Yeah. And I got an opportunity to attend another school called Jamaica College. And then that's where it kind of really kicked off from there.
Oh, fair. So what was your first big competition? Like, was it when you were under 17 or was it under 20s?
Internationally or nationally? Or like at the time being in Jamaica?
Nationally, pretty much.
So boys and girls champs. So when I first moved to Jamaica, as I said, I was at Bel Air and I was at JC for a year. It's a transfer rule, so you have to sit out. So for that year, I was boarding in Kingston, which is like at that time, maybe an hour 15 from where I used to live. And that's pretty far when you don't drive and you're 14 years old. And I'm away from home at these times. I'm with a teacher. Good lady, you have our differences, you know, naturally. And I used to travel like maybe like 40 minutes to get to school in the morning. And these times I'm in Jamaica, like I'm in Kingston as a 14-year-old British youth, standing out like a sore thumb. You know, my dad's still getting me shoes size and a half too big. You know, them Jamaican parents.
With them shorts up there in your waist.
Yeah, I got my blue uniform, my epaulets on. And, but I owe Jamaica College a lot to where I am today. So I was there for a year. I sat out for my first year. My second year, I started running. But it's like when you come from somewhere where you're fully embraced, and you know, when you're the fast guy, you're the popular guy, you know. So I was always used to having a certain level of social status among my peers. Moving to Jamaica, you start right at the bottom, and it humbles you completely because for one, you're British, so they automatically think you're soft, like SARFF soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like you kind of have to prove yourself. But you got to be careful how you do that because there's some serious people out there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I went to school and then I was getting teased. They were like, British boy, whoop-de 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 whoop. And I said to him, man, go suck your mother. But look, this is me saying that, yeah?
With a British accent.
With a British accent. And I'm just frustrated at this point. You know what the man done to me? He slapped me in my face, took out a knife and said, "Pussy, me stab you, yeah?" And I was like, "Raw, this is not like a joke to you. I'm really out here."
In London, you would have just got back like
So look,
your mum's so fat.
In London, I wouldn't be in that situation though, because man's not testing me. I'm already top man in my little year group. You know what I'm saying? Like I dictate.
7C, yeah.
I got first pick on the team. I'm team captain. In Jamaica, I'm getting picked last. You know the way there. It even
Going
got
from that as well, isn't it?
yeah,
From
like it humbles
being the main
you.
person
It
to like
humbles you, bro. So you gotta learn how to move correctly. And you're trying to pick out your friends. And I remember I thought he was cool, so I'm partying with him. This youth's the biggest nerd ever. I was like, oh man, I friend up the nerd. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd, bro. I would never be the nerd.
It's your first friend.
Yeah,
It's
man.
your first friend. You got to let it roll.
And I wasn't even too enthusiastic to train, just because I never felt like I fit in. And I didn't understand the magnitude of boys and girls champ at the time anyway. Like people are telling me, and I remember my first year there, I saw Johan Blake, Nickel Ashmead, them boy that Warren Way. I saw all them guys run at champs, and you hear their names, the front page of the article, and you see what they are today. But back then, you're just like, okay, their boys are running fast. But like when you sit back and think about where you were then, it's like, oh, it's actually a much bigger deal, you know. And I remember I was at a track meet, and oh gosh, it's like the roster's like 100 of us, right? And you pick what heat you're in. And I kept getting pushed to the back of the line. I was like, I'm in this thing. No, you're not. Like literally, you know, you go back there, and I'm just going back. There's like 30 heats, bro. I'm in the last heat. But guess what the fastest time of the day? I did. And that's when I got a little bit of ratings, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, he dropped at time. The coaches start to embrace you just that little bit more. Your peers look at you like, they're not sure whether to embrace me yet, but I kind of put my foot in the door, and from then on in, I started to feel more appreciation from, not that, you know, when you're young, you do want validation. You do want to feel involved, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm mentally tough now, but back then I was totally naive to the whole
like
thing.
being a football team and being on the bench every time.
Yeah, like
no one wants to be on the bench every time.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
No offense to Jones.
Were you surprised that, like, at that champs when you ran the time, were you surprised? Because it kind of, the way I've taken that is like, you weren't even really saying too tough in training to kind of say to yourself, well, nah, I'm gonna be in this race. Obviously, you ain't trying to argue with nobody.
I was, you know what's so funny too? So, you know who handed my medal at meet too? It was Morris Green. And Morris Green was a big idol of mine at that time. You know, we used to think that coming out sideways was the thing, and
that was
licking
the
your
vibe.
lips. Yeah, it's like,
Listen, this man, yeah, between Maurice Green and Justin Gatlin, I've never seen someone, like literally he would cover both sides of the lane for about 20 meters.
I used to think that was the way.
Ragged
like,
drive
you
face.
just didn't know. You just trying to, you look at the best and you try to emulate the best.
These bony arms is coming at you in the next lane. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. And I remember saying GOAT, you know, because he got the GOAT tattoo on his arm. Yeah. But look how life works. I have Morris Green's number on my phone today. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've mentioned that moment to him, but he won't remember, you know. So, it's, and funny story to that point, I know we've got a brief amount of time. I was Christmas 2009. My cousin and I were like best friends because we both went to like the private school together and we were the same age, so we naturally become close, especially when I didn't really have many friends at that moment in time, so we become naturally much closer. I'm at a hotel for Christmas and I go onto the balcony. Guess who I see standing there? Tyson Gay and Steve Mullins.
Idol.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and Tyson Gay legit is like the guy who I idolized growing up, and I was just like, wait, that's Tyson Gay. And go on my Facebook to this day, I got a picture of him, big V-neck, scrawny arms. You know what I'm saying? Like taking a picture. And what's funny too, because I remember 2006 Crystal Palace, after Tyson won the 200, asked for his vest and he gave it to me. So I still got.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Still have that vest?
I still got that vest. Come on, I would, you know.
No, Tyson's the nicest guy, you know. Cause
I feel like I'm lying, but I might not be lying. Am I right in saying that you brought this vest to training once and you tried to wear it, but it was too big?
Yeah. I've ran in it competitively before.
Seriously.
And look how life goes around. So I got that vest 2006. I'm meeting Christmas 2009. I'm now training the same group as him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I still catch myself like, oh man, that's Tyson.
Did that like motivate you though? Like, you know, meeting those people around that time where you're just like,
I was just a fanboy. I was just more like, wow, like, these guys are real.
Guys, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These guys are real people.
I want to ask quite a serious question. do you think if you didn't move, because you was here, started here, went to Jamaica, and then you ended up in the US for university and stuff. Do you think if you didn't do that, would you be in the position you're in now? Sub 20, sub 10?
Probably not. Because at that moment in time, where would I go after I leave Ilford AC? Now, I love Ilford AC and I've got a lot of respect for it. And there's a couple guys who came through the ranks with me who were above me, you know, JPK.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I would have taken it as serious because it got to the point where I went through school and I knew I couldn't afford university. Plain and simple. I had to get a scholarship, you know, so I was running okay times. I remember CJ's tour, right? And we made the World Youth Team in 2011. That's where we first linked up.
That's when I first started hearing about CJ.
And you know what's funny? Like, I've got a lot of respect for him, and I'd say we pretty much, as corny as it may sound, he may think differently, but we instantly clicked. Like, we're two young black boys, and it's like, I remember they had all these rooms, and we're like, bro, we're getting the bunk beds. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember that? We said, we're getting the bunk beds. Yeah.
How old are you at this point? 16, 17?
2011, bro.
17.
Yeah, 17. And it was funny too, because we got pictures too, and with all these other athletes who I went to university with at the time, in the States, but didn't know that it was them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it's hard to say. Like, I got a big drive to go to university on the strength of athletics. Like, it's open, so it paid for my school. Like, I graduated a degree in international trade and finance. You know what I'm saying? So I took school very serious. I wanted to get that in there too. Do you know what I'm saying? But
don't be fooled, people.
Yeah,
nah, I'm playing. I'm playing.
Nah, but it's like, it got to the point where I said to myself, okay, am I gonna try pursue a career in athletics professionally, or should I just stick to the books? And it got to the point where it's like, all right, boom, let's see what schools come to me. Because I passed the SATs first time I'm asking, so I've gone through the clearinghouse process, which basically means in academic standing you're allowed to go to university in Division 1, which is the biggest thing, because you can have the ability athletically, but a lot of international students have to go to a junior college first, and they can lose their way there because it is hard. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I was able to get into a D1 school, and an alumni of my high school in Jamaica College was the middle distance coach at a school called Villanova, which is like a what do you guys call it over here? Russell, what's it called when there's schools like creme de la creme, but it's not Ivy League, like Russell League school, I think it is. Like Loughborough's like
Russell Brand.
Yeah, like a Russell Brand school. They're really good schools, but they're not in the same breadth as Oxford and Cambridge, but they're right below. So Villanova is not an Ivy League school, but it's literally Brown, Columbia. Like, it's mentioned in the same breadth, but it doesn't have that title because Ivy League, I think you have to be so many years old or something like that. And so I would have got into that school. If I graduate from there, degree in economics, I'm looking at a very good paying job. Now, LSU is not as prestigious academically, but athletically, it can't be mentioned in the same breath because they produce some of the Odell Beckham, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Simmons, Pistol Pete, Patrick Peterson. I'm missing some names. Richard Thompson, Lolo Jones, like some amazing athletes have gone there. Do you know what I'm saying? I used to go on LSU's website, look at the website and be like, man, only if. I wouldn't even bother replying or emailing the coach because I was just like, that's out of my league. Because on the website, they got all these times that you have to be in consideration for going to the school. It's like 10-2, 20.7. I'm like, man, I'm going 21-2 and 10-4. Only if, you know? And it so happened that my lead mentor, who's been a great figure in my life, Mr. Mullins, he's very, very proactive. So he got in contact with the school and they saw me run at Penn Relays. And Coach Elliott, who's now the head coach at Clemson, was the associate head coach at LSU. He's Jamaican also. So they kind of have they look out for people. They,
family.
They took a risk on me. And
paid off.
Was you at LSU when you won European under 20s?
Yeah, that was my freshman year.
Okay.
That was my freshman year in university. I remember I ran 20.69 in college. And that same year I went on to win Europeans in 20.62.
What would you say comparing doing all the competition in America to Britain?
To recent?
To Britain, yeah.
Oh, to run in America, run in Britain.
England, yeah.
Oh, it's different. So I hadn't run in England in 10 years up until winning trials in 2017. So 2016 I was supposed to run after going 1995 and 10 or 9 that year, but I'd pulled my hamstring at NCAA's. So I went from being the number 1 prospect on everybody's draft board, looking at a lucrative contract, to just being brushed in the side.
Injury.
Yeah, because in athletics, you're as good as your last race.
Yeah.
In other sports, they can see your potential and say, all right, we'll sit him out for you, come through. Athletics, no. You're as good as your last race. And my last race was like 20.2 at the Olympics, and I got knocked out in the semis. So my stock just fell. The buzz had gone. All shoe companies allocate their money. And then they're like, oh, yeah. Had to come back to school. I was on the Mercedes website looking at cars. You can build your car. Yeah. I was building my car, boy, and I was like, I gotta wait some time now. I just got to eat humble pie all over again.
So what made you decide to come to the British trials?
2017?
Yeah.
I had to make the World Championship team.
Did you just? Well, now that you're back, are you back in the UK now?
No. I'm still based in America. Yeah.
What coach are you still with?
I was with Coach Dennis Shave when I was at LSU, but I made the transition to Lance Brahman of Pure Athletics Group in Claremont, Florida. So
what was the transition like? If you leave uni, going outside and then going pro, pretty much pro, yeah. What was the transition like? Do you get the same amount of coaching, physio?
It's very different because when you're in a university setup, you're babied. You live lavish life. LSU's a very, very it's a good school and it's in good financial standing, so it's calm. Physio's on deck. When you move to Claremont now, the reason why I made the move is to be in a professional environment. So I understand my collegiate coach makes a very, very nice sum on the strength of being a head coach at LSU, and so but his obligations are to being at LSU. So he's with them all the time. When it comes to their season, he's only there 3 days a week because they travel Thursday, run Friday, run Saturday, come back Sunday. So it was like I could only see him 3 days a week. Great guy, love him, can't speak anything bad about him. But when it comes to your career, you want a full-time coach, Yeah. So I made that move, and
unfortunately, we're gonna have to cut this chat short. Just a few complications that have happened today, but it's fine. It happens. We move on. We're going to come back to this at some point in the near future. Where are you going to be over the next few weeks?
Anniversary games on Sunday. We're running the 4x1. Defending world champs. We made history in that stadium. So come out, support. And we're running the 200 also. It's a 2-day event, though. I encourage you to come out. Great talent, great event, and have some fun.
Alright, cool, man. Listen, thank you for coming. I know it's been brief, but still amazing as always. I'm DJ Armani signing out.
Picks up.
Cool. Gone.
His name's
Barry.
I would say his last name, but that's a bit too much.
Is that how you're gonna do me? You can't find me under that, Not even Facebook. You can find me with that.
Where did you get Armani from?
It's my middle name.
I don't even think it is, bro.
No,
listen, the ones where you say
don't let me pull the receipts.
You know when you say, man, I wish my name was this.